And my daughter killed herself when she was 28 years old, a few months after she was, in effect, thrown out of the Peace Corps, which had been a dream of hers for over 10 years since high school. She was branded with the bipolar diagnosis. And then her treatment was to literally remove everything which gave her life meaning. All of her social connections, all of her support, everything she had striven for 10 years. It was somehow in the minds of mental health professionals, the help would be to isolate her. She was not suicidal until everything was taken from her. About 2 weeks before she died, she had been writing notes in a book in the margins in which she mentioned suicide. And she also wrote at that time, "I'm hurting so much. I'm so alone. I just want to find somewhere that I won't be alone, and I don't know where that is." The entire situation was set up 6 years earlier when during college, her mother had a stroke. And 8 months later, her boyfriend died suddenly of an epileptic seizure. She was so catastrophically grieving that she went into the counseling center at the college. She met with a psychologist and she said the words that no one should ever utter in the presence of a mental health professional: "I hurt so much, I don't know if I want to live." Well, they whisked her immediately to an ER. They humiliated her, they strip searched her, they did drug tests. They kept her there for 6 hours, locked behind doors, where I was waiting for her outside in the lobby, not allowed to meet with her. What happened after that is she simply never opened up to any other mental health professional. In the 6 years between there and her involuntary commitment in the Peace Corps, she simply stopped opening up to people because of the fear that that sort of thing could happen again. So I'm convinced that the reason my daughter is dead is because of the coercive and insensitive treatment she received at the hands of medical professionals trying to save her from herself. And then, of course, the knock-on effect of her death is that I have suffered the loss of my 28-year-old child for the rest of my life. You know, going on 6 years, the agony of her loss has diminished, and now it's a very vibrant scar that I can look at and remember. But the anger at what was done with her, it's very easy to boil up again. I wish that when my daughter had first arrived at the counseling office in the university, terribly grieving, that she had been given options to choose from and some way to sit in a group of others who had suffered like she did. A grief support group would have been good. But also the idea of meeting with another person who had a similar loss and was feeling the same way, a peer, another student, rather than some authority figure, you know, declaring how you should or should not be. I think she would have welcomed that opportunity if even in her training in psychology, someone had said, here's an alternative to mental health conditions, and suicidality is a peer support, a respite, a place to go where you're safe and no one is going to threaten or judge you. But I don't know that she had any such concept, because I never heard of it until long after she was dead. So I would love if that was one of the first options offered to anyone, and then they could choose. That's why I keep hoping that some aspect of the story will make a difference to legislators, to, you know, the mental health profession, to other people.